Today we are learning mindful strategies for dealing with overwhelm and how to find calm amidst chaos. Welcome back, dear listeners, dear hermanas, to another episode of this amazing podcast I have created for you called Hermanas Healing Together. I am your host, Dani Moore, and in today's episode, we are going to be exploring into a topic that resonates with a lot of us at some point in our lives: overwhelm. Life demands, challenges, and emotions, and how they can often leave us feeling like we're caught in a storm. Now listen, because I have to share something with you today, and it's so interesting that I am speaking about overwhelm. Dani in the past didn't know how to deal with overwhelm, how to deal with stressful situations. And if something went wrong, quote unquote, I would literally freak out. It will literally stress me out, and it will set the tone for the rest of my day. And it will make me, to some extent, depending on the situation, even angry. Today, as I'm waking up, first of all, I have a bit of a mild cold happening. So I already don't feel my very best, but I feel good enough to come in here and record this episode for you. But as I'm waking up this morning and I'm getting out to drop off my daughter at school, my car doesn't start. The battery just wouldn't work anymore. And I didn't freak out. I was just like, okay, now I just need to figure out, how do I get my child to school? And I called my best friend, and she wasn't available. She was just dropping off her son, and she needed to go to work. So I said, no worries, no problem. And not only that I have to put my feelings under control, but I have to also help my daughter be and feel under control, because she was feeling anxious. We have worked over the weekend on this big science project. And so today was the day that she's supposed to be presenting this. And so she felt a little anxious about making it in time. And I said to her, you know, things happen. We can't fix this right now. And we're just going to have to sit here and wait for roadside assistance to come and help us out. And if I need to go change the battery and buy a new one, then that's what we do. Like, there's absolutely nothing in my power that I can do to get you to school in time. And it was such a amazing moment for me. Though I've been working on myself for so many years, every time something like this happens, I am taken back to the days where I used to freak out and literally lose my cool. I'm an Aries after all, if that tells you anything. We're hot-headed, quick-tempered. So the fact that I was able to just gracefully deal through this circumstances was amazing. So today I want to touch base and share with you some mindful ways that you can learn to deal with these overwhelming feelings. Just finding a way to calm ourselves down and allow things to be for what they are. Sometimes we're just not in control, and that is okay. That is absolutely okay. So the first step is to recognize and accept. It's completely okay to feel overwhelmed. It's a natural process to stress, to what life throws at us. And the first step is to conquer the feeling by acknowledging and accepting without any self-judgment, accepting what is happening. Okay? And this is my reminder to you today. You are human, and it's okay to feel this way. So don't feel bad for feeling this way. You are in control. Gotta breathe and ground yourself. When those waves of overwhelm hit you, just take a moment to pause. Take a moment to breathe. This simple act can just calm you and calm your racing heart and bring you back to the present moment. I honestly like to repeat in my head to myself, everything is okay. I'm gonna figure this out. And by grounding yourself, you are allowing to be in the present moment. Try the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 exercise. And it can help you by naming things around you, sensory things. What can you smell? What can you see? What can you hear? What can you feel? Doing this helps you reconnect with the here and the now. And I like to remind you that this is a practice. I did not master this right away. Matter of fact, sometimes I still fail terribly at this. Okay? Also, you have to embrace your self-compassion. Imagine that you're talking to a dear friend going through the same situation as you are. And this will remind you to be kind to yourself. Maybe you give yourself a little talk in your mind. Just like I mentioned, I tell myself everything is okay. I will figure this out. I can relax. So be kind to yourself. Speak to yourself. Let your inner voice speak to yourself and calm you down. Just like you would to a friend. If a friend of yours was in this kind of situation and they will be panicking, what will you say to them if they were panicking? How will you calm them down? And use those same words and phrases to tell those things to yourself. The same things that you would tell a friend. This is how you can support yourself through a moment of chaos and regain your own power, the power to be calm. Now you can also practice some mindful strategies. If you feel overwhelmed, say because you have too many tasks to do, too many things in your to-do list, break them down into smaller steps. That way they feel more manageable. You don't have to do everything on your to-do list at once. You know what I like to do? I like to get a little whiteboard and I put it right here on my wall where my desk is. And I love to write my to-do list. So I have two sides. My top priorities is like what I must get done ASAP. And then I have a to-do list that is a little bit, the things that don't need my attention right away, that do not need to be done right away, go in that list. And so I could have 20 things, but because they're divided in two lists, it makes it more relaxed for me. It makes it a little bit easier to keep me calm and be able to see it clear without feeling overwhelmed. Now, another thing that you can do is to reward yourself. Why not? When you do something, when you accomplish at least 3 things in your to-do list, or if you get it all done in your priority list, then yay, amazing. Give yourself a little reward. And it doesn't have to be anything big or expensive. But maybe you want to take yourself for some hot chocolate, or maybe you want to go to lunch with yourself or even with a friend, or maybe there's a movie that you've been wanting to watch for some time now. Well, go and take yourself as a reward. It's an incentive to get us to do things, because if you have ADHD like I do, you know exactly how to-do lists can make you feel. Does the word overwhelm resonates with you, perhaps? Because it does for me. So just break it down. Break it down is a great way to manage your tasks without feeling overwhelmed or like you're juggling multiple things at once. Okay? Now also remember to connect and support with me. If there's something that you like to soundboard, that you want to explore, that you want to get better at, and maybe you feel like you cannot figure it out, I am willing to talk to you. And you can connect with me and find me on Instagram at Hermanas Healing Together. This is where I like to share inspiration and to connect with you guys. So if you do that, know that I am available via DM if you want to connect with me and talk to me and say, hey, Dani, this is happening in my life and I need some help. My inbox is open. Remember that you are not alone in this journey. Remember to reach out to your friends, to your family members that love to support you. Sharing your feelings to those that care can offer a new perspective. It can help you feel more relaxed. It can help you feel more connected. And what I really like to do is thank you. Thank you for being here and for listening, allowing me to share things about my own personal life and things that I think that are important to talk about. Because sometimes we may feel embarrassed to talk about these things, especially when you are an adult that is dealing with overwhelm. And perhaps you still don't know how to deal with overwhelm and you have tantrums. Maybe you have tantrums still. I think we all still have tantrums from time to time. It's just part of the human experience. I feel, and I don't know what word I'm trying to use right now, but I admire, that's the word, I admire people who are able to keep things under control and not overreact. But for those of us who overreact, you know, I admire you. I admire you too, because you're having the self-awareness, because you know that you have things to improve. And just that alone, it's huge. To recognize that you have to change something is huge. And don't feel embarrassed. Don't ever feel embarrassed for, quote unquote, not being perfect like you want. I don't want you to be perfect. I want you to be you. And I want you to be you and be aware. And be aware that you can overcome things. And be aware that you can change things. And be aware that you can work on improving yourself. There's always room for improvement. And it's not about being an expert. It's not about being able to master it all at once. Everything is practice, remember that. Everything is consistency. What does your brain likes? Repetition. The more you repeat things, the more your brain records them. The more your brain acts depending on whatever tape you're giving it. You're putting it like a little cassette tape. It's playing a new tune in your head. It's whatever you feed it. And that helps you manifest things and be conscious for you. So if you enjoyed today's episode, again, I'm going to ask you to subscribe to this podcast, to leave me a review, to share it. Maybe you have somebody in your life who's dealing with this. Maybe they just need somebody to tell them, hey, it's okay if you feel this way. Here's this episode. Maybe it will give you some good ideas on how to handle these feelings. Remember that your support means the world to me. And my Instagram, again, if you want to come say hello, it's at Hermanas Healing Together. Come find your daily dose of inspiration there. This is a page that is still growing. So new faces, new likes, new follows are always welcome. And until next time, stay mindful, stay strong, and keep healing together. Bye-bye.